وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم شهد الله أنه لا إله إلا هو والملائكة وأولو العلم قائما بالقسط لا إله إلا هو العزيز الحكيم إن الدين عند الله الإسلام وما اختلف الذين أوتوا الكتاب إلا من بعد ما جاءهم العلم بغيا بينهم ومن يكفر بآيات الله فإن الله سريع الحساب صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. شهد الله, Allah bears witness. Shahida, shahadat is bearing witness. Shahid Allah annahu la ilaha illahu, that there is no God but He. So Allah Himself is giving witness that there is no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself. Wal malaika, and the angels. Wa ulul ilmi qa'iman bil qist, and wa ulul ilm, and the men of knowledge. So the history of this ayat is that there was two Jewish people, very knowledgeable Jewish scholars, who came to Medina. And when they came to Medina, they saw the city, and they said, looking at the city, they said that this seems like the city where the last prophet is supposed to come, according to their books. And then they heard from people that there is a very pious man there who declares himself to be a prophet of Allah. So they went and came to the company of the Prophet ﷺ, and then asked the Prophet ﷺ a few questions. The first of the questions was, "Are you Muhammad?" Because they knew the name of the Prophet ﷺ from the books that they had learned. Prophet ﷺ said, "Yes, I am Muhammad." Then they said, "Are you Ahmad?" This is the other name that is mentioned in their books. Prophet ﷺ said, "Yes, I am Ahmad as well, so I am Muhammad and Ahmad." Then they asked, what is the biggest witness that Allah has given in His book? So this specific witness is also mentioned in the other books of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In answer to this question, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the Prophet ﷺ this ayat of the Quran, "Shahid Allahu annahu la ilaha illahu." Allah bears witness that there is none worthy of worship, there is no ilah, there is no God but Him, but He. So the Prophet ﷺ told them that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has recited this ayah as a response to their question, their third question, and they immediately, both of them, brought faith and became Muslims. So this is the biggest shahadat, this is the biggest fact of the whole universe, of wherever it could be, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one worthy of worship. And the next ayah also connects to this, but here the other thing to note is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also mentioned two other kinds who give witness. Malaika, who are the angels, and specifically the angels who are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they bear witness. All the angels bear witness, but here the meaning pertains more to the angels who actually see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who are actually working very close in very close location to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They also give witness, and all the malaika give witness with their tasbih, with their tahmeed, with their tahleel, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one worthy of worship. Wa ulul ilm. Now Hazrat Mufassirin have written that this is a great honor for the ulama, for the knowledgeable people of Islam, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned them with angels and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned them and their fact, their act of bearing witness to the greatest fact of this universe, which is that they give witness to Allah being the only ilah. So ulul ilm basically mean that those people of knowledge whose knowledge is based on sound and concrete knowledge of the Quran and Hadith, and who have through facts realized the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one ilah, or the one worthy of worship. Qa'iman bil qist. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving His attribute قَائِمًا بِالْقِسْطِ. Allah is the one who maintains everything with equity, with qist, with justice, with in proportion. Everything is maintained, all adl, all proportion, all equity is maintained by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who maintains that. قَائِمًا بِالْقِسْطِ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا هُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. Again Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, there is no God but He, the Mighty, the Wise, Al-Aziz, Al-Hakim. Then after saying this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, إِنَّ الدِّينَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ الْإِسْلَامِ. Truly, the deen in the eyes of Allah is Islam. Deen, or the religion in the sight of Allah, is Islam. So here we got to understand that there's 2 or 3 terms that sometimes people try to use to confuse the Ummah as well. Deen, Islam, Madhab, and what is our deen, what is our mazhab, what is Islam. So deen basically literally means the way, and the way in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is only Islam. Deen is only Islam. And what is that deen? That deen is to bear witness that La ilaha illallah, there is no one worthy of worship except Allah. So this was the deen, and this is Islam. And this deen, Islam, has been the deen of all prophets. Therefore, we see in the Quran that Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam has declared himself as Muslim. Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam has declared himself as Muslim. Similar is the case of all prophets, that all of them, their deen was Islam. What is Islam? Islam literally means to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being the only one worthy of worship is the deen of all Anbiya. Now, Islam is also, after the coming of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this term Islam has become specific to the Sharia of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, deen, La ilaha illallah, to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being the ilah, and following the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as told by the Prophet of that time, that is the deen. And that has been, Islam literally means submission, to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been the deen of all prophets. But after the coming of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, urfan, in common language and multiple places in the Quran as well, Islam, this word Islam is now used for the exact and specific Sharia of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is common with the other adyan, with the deen of all the other prophets, in that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being the only ilah. But then there is commands that have been given to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which are special to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the ummah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But the core is the same, that there has to be submission to the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَا اخْتَلَفَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ إِلَّا مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَهُمُ الْعِلْمُ بَغْيًا بَيْنَهُمْ. Those who have been given the book did not differ among themselves until after the knowledge had come to them. And all this due to envy against each other. بَغْيًا بَيْنَهُمْ. وَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ سَرِيعُ الْحِسَابِ. Whoever denies the verses of Allah, then Allah is swift or quick in reckoning. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving very important fact that all of the people who have not believed in the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam or differed, they have not done it because it is not clear to them who's on the right deen. As is clear apparent from the example of these 2 scholars of Jewish people, as is apparent from multiple other examples, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself has said in the other place that these people recognize the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam like they recognize their own sons. As a father recognizes, so a father is able to recognize their son, there will be hundreds of children there, but the father will be able to recognize their own son. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that these people recognize the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to be the true prophet of Allah as they recognize their own son. Similarly, there's so many other examples. When the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born, the Jewish people were waiting for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to be born. But when they learned that there has been no son here and there has been a son in Quraysh, and the Jewish scholar went and saw the seal of prophethood on the back of the Prophet ﷺ, he lamented and he said that Nabuwat or prophethood has been taken from the Bani Israel. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that they are not differing in the open signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Illa min ba'di ma ja'ahum al-ilm, when they have been given knowledge, the open knowledge of what is right. Baghyan bainahum. Illa min ba'di ma ja'ahum al-ilm baghyan bainahum. Except that they have envy against each other. They have envy against each other. So the Bani Israel or the others are envious because they did not find the Prophet ﷺ to come from among Bani Israel or the people that they were, but the Prophet ﷺ was born in Quraysh. So they have envy against each other, and that is preventing them, prohibiting them from accepting the open and very clear truth that they know at heart is the truth. وَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ, so whoever denies the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the clear signs, the clear verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ سَرِيعُ الْحِسَابِ, very soon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to bring them to account. Very soon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to take hisab from them, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ سَرِيعُ الْحِسَابِ, then know that then verily Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is quick in reckoning. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among the ones who accept the open signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one virtue of this ayah, the ayah that we read, Shahid Allahu annahu la ilaha illahu, Hazrat Hussein have written that in Arafat, the time of Hajjatul Wida, the Prophet ﷺ recited this ayah and said, وَأَنَا عَلَىٰ ذَلِكَ مِنَ الشَّاهِدِينَ يَا رَبِّي, that, O Allah, I am also a witness, I am from among those who bear witness to this fact, Ya Rabb. And it is heard from Mufassirin, it is written in the Tafsir that one narration is that whoever recites or listens to this ayah and says this verse, this sentence, وَأَنَا عَلَىٰ ذَلِكَ مِنَ الشَّاهِدِينَ يَا رَبِّي, so if you want to say that as well, the virtue is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala writes maghfirah for them, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say when they meet on the day of judgment to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say that my slave had made a promise with me, and I am the best among those who keep their promises, so I am going to keep my promise this day. What is that promise? That whoever gives witness that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only ilah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send them to Jannah. So this is what we are supposed to say when we recite this ayah. وَأَنَا عَلَىٰ ذَلِكَ, if you want to repeat this after me, وَأَنَا عَلَىٰ ذَلِكَ وَأَنَا عَلَىٰ ذَلِكَ مِنَ الشَّاهِدِينَ يَا رَبِّي. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. الصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكون من الخاسرين. رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين. صلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. آمين.